Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft and it's great to have you here for another Tuesday scrapbook process video. Today I'm doing my take on yet another Shimelle live. I watch every one of her lives and make a layout for every one of her lives every month because it's just so fun. Even if I'm not watching it live, if I'm watching the replay, it's just so fun and inspiring and gives me some really great ideas. So I decided that I was going to film myself watching the replay from one of her lives in May. And this one, I have to say, I was watching along and scrapping along, but sometimes she goes off on tangents and starts talking about things. And so there's like more talking and not as much scrapbooking. And I'm kind of like, let's move it along because like I've caught up and I'm ready to go. And I could fast forward through those parts during the replay. But instead, I kind of like saw what she was doing. She makes a sketch at the beginning of every layout. Or the beginning of every video. And so I saw what she was going for and I was like, all right, like let's just kind of go for it. So at any point, if I felt like she was if she was going too slow, I just continued going and just kind of like made the whole thing my own. So it was a little bit of mixed media using the color from May, and that was the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Squeezed Lemonade. I did the packaging technique with the Distress Oxide spray version of that. You could also do like a stamped background or whatever you want. If you don't even have to use that color, it could be any color you want, but you could do a variety of different mixed media options for a little bit of a background there. And it's really just kind of going to peek out around the photos that are going to be in the center. You've also seen that I cut a bunch of paper strips, patterned paper strips. This was a great one for using up some of the leftover bits from the May kit, some of the pieces that had already been cut into, and some of the branding strips as well. So we're going to be using those to create sort of a layered strip look on the top and on the bottom. And then I have two photos that did I cut down to like 3.5 by 5 or 3 by 4? Now I can't remember, but I cut them down. They were originally 4 by 6, and I'm just backing them on that pretty blue star paper. And those two photos are actually very recent. They were photos taken at the end of April, and they're from an event that I went to at work. It was actually my company's event. I don't own the company. I say my company. The company I work for has an event twice a year. And so this was our first event of the year, and it was all about toys. And so there's a photo of me with Mr. Monopoly because Hasbro, the maker of Monopoly, is actually having people vote. I don't know how long the voting lasts, but if you still have time to vote, you get to vote on your favorite classic Monopoly token, and then they're going to make a new game and include that token. And I think they're getting rid of something else, so you get to vote for the one that you don't want anymore too. And then another toy manufacturer took a photo of me making a video at their booth, and they shared it on Instagram. So I took a screenshot of that and printed it out. Not great quality because it's a screenshot from Instagram, but still, just kind of fun to like document what happened that day. The pictures don't have to be perfect, you guys. I think that's like tip number one. A lot of times I take pictures and like the lighting's not that great, especially like selfies or my daughter loves having her picture taken, but like the lighting in her bedroom might not be great or it might be nighttime. I'll still print them out, and do something with them because I still want to like preserve those memories. So don't let like a blurry or low res photo get you down. So those are the two photos that I'm using today, and I believe Shimelle also did two photos on her layout. On top of the misting spray, I'm doing a little bit of some stenciling. And my ink pad just broke, so that's unfortunate because I still need that color. But I'm going to use my scrapbook.com dauber to get that color out, and I've had that thing for a long time. It's not very good. The daubers are really better. I like the ergonomic thing of the of that pink ink thingy, but it doesn't daub as well. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I like the motion of the scrapbook.com daubers better than those thingies. So anyway, so we're using a Vicky Bouton stencil. It's from, I think, what is it called? Sweet Rush? I'm looking right now. Yeah, from the Sweet Rush collection. It's got a cool little like circular-ish design, and I'm actually doing two colors, pink and orange, to play with the colors that are in some of those pattern papers. There's some pink and orange in both of them. And you saw multiple times I went back to kind of hold the photos over where I was going, because I wanted to make sure that, as I'm drinking my tea, I wanted to make sure that the mixed media made it look like it was, coming out from behind the photo, and that there wasn't going to be any like awkward space where there needed to be some stenciling, and I wanted it to look, not filled in, just sort of like planned out chaos. I don't know if that's what I'm really going for. But yeah, if you do stencils and you do inking, I think you know what I'm talking about. You don't, I'm not putting like the whole stencil down and just like stenciling a big rectangle. I want it to look sort of haphazard, sort of random, and yeah, that's the vibe. And I didn't like the straight line of that butterfly paper. It was really, really big, and I had another piece that was had a torn edge. So I decided I was going to do a torn edge with the butterfly paper too, because I really like the way that that looks, and I wanted to, bring a little bit more of that, haphazardness into the layout with these paper strips. So I'm just putting my paper strips down on top. I'm not doing them exactly the same way as Shimelle. I'm not using the exact same pattern papers. I'm kind of taking what I have and doing a design that works for me. And so I encourage you guys to do the same. This is a really easy kind of design layout that I think you could use over and over and over again, especially if you like doing mixed media backgrounds, or you don't even have to do a mixed media background. You could do this on top of a pattern paper too. If you had like kind of a nice neutral pattern paper and then did some more busier patterns in the paper strips, that could work as well. So I've got the strips down on the top in varying sizes. Some of them are a little bit smaller. Some of them do go all the way across as 12 inches. And now I've got to bring some of those same pattern papers down at the bottom as well. So I've got that floral paper, that's at the top, that's at the bottom. I didn't have really anything else from the other stuff. Like I still had some of the butterfly paper. I still have some of that pink. I'm really like digging into the scrap bag here for this page to make it all work. And I love that, because I know so many people are doing shop your stash, bash your stash challenges for the year or the month. And so I think this one, using the strips of paper and creating your own mixed media background, is a great way to use items from your stash and look at your scraps and see what you have, and make something really cool. If you are enjoying this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing that as well, because I post process videos every Tuesday. I also participate in a variety of scrapbook challenges and hops throughout the every month. So there's always some cool inspiration for you guys here at the channel. If you're a returning subscriber and you're watching this video here right in the smack dab middle of it, thanks so much for stopping by again. It was great to see you. And feel free to always leave a comment below if you just want to say hi, or if you have any questions about the products that I'm using, the things that you see me doing. I'm happy to answer those questions and help you out in any way that I can. That's kind of why I'm here on YouTube, as well as all the other social media channels that I'm on. Instagram's really the big one. I do have a TikTok. That's pretty fun. But yeah, I'm here just to be inspiring to you guys, get inspired by you guys. It's a really fun community here, scrapbook community here on YouTube. And I love that we can all kind of share our talents and share our inspiration with each other. So now I'm ready to put the photos down. I got those adhered. I've got all my paper strips adhered. I need to do some embellishments and the title. So the problem that I sometimes have is that I run out of embellishments super fast. And I also didn't really have many embellishments that fit the theme of these photos. These are work photos with toys and stuff. And I just didn't really, I had a lot of springtime things and pretty things with flowers, and that doesn't really fit so well with these. So you saw I dumped out a little packet at the top. Those are some very old Pink Fresh chipboard stickers. I want to say the collection was called Office Hours, and I still had a couple pieces of those chipboard stickers from that collection. So I think they're some hole punches and pens. there's one, I don't really know what it is, a vase maybe, or a wine glass. I don't know, but surprisingly, I am going to use it on here because, like, it could be anything. It could be a Monopoly token. I don't know. I was just trying to find a way to incorporate some of those pieces onto this work-themed layout since they were from a work-themed collection. And maybe you guys have something like that in your stash. If you know, like, what's the oldest embellishment that you have in your stash, or maybe the oldest tool that you have in your stash, let me know down below in the comments. I think the oldest tool that I have are those scissors that cut different border edges. Like, before they made border punches, they just made scissors, and you had to, like, do the best you could to cut straight and line everything up properly. But you could do, like, wavy things and clouds and I don't even know, zigzags, little like alligator teeth. You probably, if you've been scrapbooking for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. And I still have them. I never use them. I guess I should maybe like donate them or something because I really don't use them. And it's one of those things where you look at them and you're like, oh yeah, those were kind of fun to use. Maybe I should break them out again. And then you don't. And it's like, yeah, I think that's something that maybe needs to go from my stash. Unless you guys are interested in seeing some sort of like random series where it's like using old product, using old tools and stuff. Like, how do you incorporate them into a more modern scrapbook aesthetic? Maybe I could do that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what you guys think. So you can see the weird chalice thing that I used down there by the title. The title is Just Another Day at the Office. I love those pink fresh alphas. There were so many letters, and I've only used the warm letter side. There's also a cool letter sheet. I haven't used any of those. So I've got a lot of those alpha stickers and I'm loving them. I'm also using some of the Pink Fresh enamel dots just to kind of build out some of those clusters. There's a pen up at the top. There's one of the Pink Fresh puffy stickers. It looks like a book bag. And since I do carry a book bag with me to work every day because it has a laptop pocket in it and I bring my work laptop to and from the house with me, I thought that was kind of appropriate. It's kind of work appropriate. So yeah. So, like I said, just figuring out like the embellishments for this one was the hardest part because I never have enough embellishments, and like I have a lot of paper now, but I don't always have embellishments, and I need to be able to like buy some just general embellishments that I can have on hand that are going to go with anything that aren't like super themed. Yeah, let me know if you know of a good place to get those, or if you know of like a really good collection that has just sort of the general type of embellishments that you could use for anything. Because like I do have a lot of old embellishments, but again, they're not general use. I have a lot of like bikes. I don't own a bike. What am I going to do with bikes? Those are Halloween ones. This is not a Halloween layout. I was like, maybe something could fit. I don't know. I was just trying to find something because I felt like I needed more embellishments, but in reality, I really didn't need any more embellishments. I just felt like I was kind of freaking out, like, oh, there just needs to be something more, but there really doesn't, because I've got a lot of pattern paper at the top. All those layers of pattern paper, that's good enough. You don't have to go overboard with embellishments. You don't have to try to force it. So here I made a mistake. I wrote down the wrong date. This took place in April. I wrote down September 2022. We haven't even gotten to September yet. So I'm like, how am I going to fix this? Because I can't just like white it out. There's mixed media underneath. It's going to look weird. So I took another branding strip of paper and I decided I would just make like a journaling strip and do the journaling on that. And I really like the way it looks. And then I'm going to take the other part of the journaling strip, the other part of the branding strip that didn't have any writing on it, and I'm just going to pop it up in the top strip layer there, see? And then it's going to be like, oh, look, I'm incorporating those colors and everything's hunky-dory and no one has to know, except for you guys because you're watching this process video. So don't let mistakes get you down. There's always a way to fix it. Just think creatively, and you're a scrapbooker, so you're already creative, so you're halfway there. Thanks so much for watching this video. These are the close-ups. You can see things in a little more detail. There's the finished layout. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!